What's up, guys? Going to stay bringing another episode of Raging with Ronaldo, where we'll look to induce some rage from our opponents and basically see what happens. It's going to be a live com, and basically I'll talk about a couple of things as well. So if you're looking for Ultimate Team coins, then check out Joe's PS3 coins. There'll be links in the description below. He's currently selling at £4 per 100k. Let's look at this team. We've got an informed Ronaldinho and Neymar Santos version. We've got Wellington. You've got Maicon Leite as well up top. Thiago Silva at the back. It's a pretty strong Brazilian team. I wonder if he'll be intimidated by the fact that now I've got the 91 Messi sitting up top with Ronaldo. We'll see. And of course, informed Di Maria. And there's a couple of others. Maybe I should have showed you the team at the start. But they'll put a link to a foothead in the description so you can see what team I'm currently rocking with anyway. And also, I've got to say a shout to a guy on Twitter at TC Gaming HDD. Yes, there's two D's on the end, double D. And this guy's like, basically go check out his Twitter. He's helped me like, and he's loaned me a player at the moment. And as you can see there, someone on the screen has just said, wow. My opponent said, wow. So he's impressed with the team so far. I've definitely put a link in the description for you. I might even like edit it on so you can see like what team I'm playing with at the moment. So what am I going to be discussing in today's video? And basically it's going to be, like when this video goes out, it'll probably go out on the Friday, and of course the Saturday is the start of the BPL season. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, and just how excited are you? Basically, this is when it really starts. I know basically all the championship and all the smaller clubs around the country, and he puts a shot over there, basically all their their league started like last week, and the championship and all that is already flowing. But for most people, this is where it really begins. Everyone's like picking their fantasy teams now, and can't wait for the like match of the day to start and the Premier League to start. And that's where it's all about, because even if you like a loyal supporter of a smaller team, you will have that Premier League team that you follow, and you want the players to do really well, and you can't wait for it to happen. And how excited are you? And basically, what do you think? Are there going to be some surprises? Who are going to be like the Swansea this year? Is there going to be another like West Brom as well, who are just going to be amazing? I mean, Hull have suddenly like announced themselves back into the game as well, basically signing Hoddesdon, Livermore, and they're now there to be taken seriously. So we've really got to see what we can do with that and see like how good that will be. But basically, drop some comments below and like let me know what your predictions are and who you think is going to do really well this season, and what you think the opening game is going to be. And of course, we've still got a couple of weeks till the transfer deadline finishes, so players like Suarez, Rooney, all those kind of players, let off there, basically going to be moving along. But what are you most looking forward to at the start of the season? And that is the real question. I mean, it is the one time of year where pretty much every fan still has optimism, and no matter what happens, I mean, your team can get turned over in the first game of the season and you still have hope, because it's only one game, and things are never over. You could like lose 10-0, and then basically you could go on and win the league. Like, that's how crazy it is. And like, I know that, like, not 10-0, but I know that teams have won the league after losing the first game heavily, and that's just really why the start of the season is so exciting, because everyone has a clean slate. You might even get one random team that doesn't stand a chance of winning the league at the top of the league because they've had a good, like, convincing win. So we'll just have to see how it all works out. And of course, with all the new managers on show as well, like, what can we do with Di Maria here? Cross it in. Anyone going to be on the end of it? No. Oh, firing shots now. Let's get. Oh, he's just blocking me at the moment. Ronaldo from the head? No, definitely not. So, yeah. So I'm definitely like pumped and excited for the start of the season. I mean, who have you guys got into your fantasy team? Who are the players that you think are gonna like be scoring consistent goals for you? I mean, a shout for me. And what have we got there? No, it's a free kick by me somehow. I'm thinking that, I'm thinking Walcott will have a big season. He's definitely one that I'm going to be adding in. I tried to add like one or two Arsenal players into my fantasy team, and I think he's going to be the one that I'm going to add, because he's definitely added some end product. And I mean, he even scored for England the other day, so that's exactly what you want. From someone there. And is he necessarily going to be classed as, oh, this guy's just taking the piss? Cross it or don't cross it. It's up to you, mate. It really is. What was the point of that? So, yeah, I think he's really going to have some like end product, and I think he's really going to have a big season in terms of goals. Oxlade-Chamberlain might be the other one from Arsenal, but the rest are a bit of a lottery, especially if we don't know who we're going to be signing. So we'll have to see what goes on with that. But who else? I mean, obviously Bale would be an obvious choice, but he's going to be so overpriced, so he's not really going to offer you any value. I think the key is to try and pick up maybe a couple of those new signings or a couple of people who you don't expect. Someone cheap as well who's a forward. Like, I mean, Lambert, obviously a lot of people will be interested in him now, probably drafting him in. Um, but there's always those bargain players, players who just that aren't worth that much, but basically get you loads and loads of points. And of course, all the usual suspects from last year will be highly priced because they got loads of points last year. So players like Suarez, Van Persie, they're going to get you points, but they're not going to offer you great value. So you have to try and find a fine balance of having those players in there as well as having players who offer you great value. And also you need a solid defense and a solid keeper and all that kind of stuff. Do you load your team up with a strike force? And really, this guy, what is the point? Honestly, what are you trying to achieve? Are you already wasting time already, or are you just trying to get me to like come at you? Where I'm not really gonna like just go guns blazing. I mean, if you want to do that kind of stuff where you just flick the ball up and waste time, then it's up to you. Really is. Maybe this guy will rage. Obviously, he's impressed with the team, but maybe he's not impressed with how things are going at the moment. But his team is pretty good anyway, so I don't see what he's really trying to get at, really, to be honest. So let's see if we can try and get a goal, and that was the wrong thing to do. Oh, Di Maria, can I cut in again? No, dear, like put it like over. Had the chance there because his defender stood off me a little bit, and he's put the ball out there. Should have been a bit quicker to get in. So we're just waiting again for FIFA 14 to come out, and it seems like every day FIFA 13 just dies that little bit more. And I know it just seems like Pink Slip seems to be dying. The new trend seems to be prediction videos for FIFA 14. So is that what you want to see at the moment? Is that like what you want to see in your sub box at the moment? Oh, I thought I got the ball through to him. And is that something that you'd be interested in seeing me do? Well, if you want me to have a go at doing one of those, then obviously I will do. I mean, I've got some opinions, especially about, it would be easy for me to start with an Arsenal team. And I think, would you agree with what I think? Certain players need to be downgraded who've been awful, like someone like Van Marlen, it's just gone backwards in terms of playing. And other players obviously need to be upgraded. Someone like, Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't have as great a season, but still I think he's improved overall and he's looking sharp again. I think, Walker improved his end product again. So even if his rating doesn't go up overall, I think his shooting needs to go up because he's a much better finisher now than he was, when he was given his original rating. So I definitely think his shooting needs to go up. And he's just a much more rounded player than he was. He's definitely much more of a threat. Adding a little bit more than just the out and out pace as well. And of course, if you look at some other teams, then you're going to have players like maybe Huddleston. He's one that probably might have to go down if you're thinking about him moving to Hull. That is a surprising move. That one has shocked me. But then they claim they're serious. They're going to start, And I think the thing is, what you'll find is that every season, the weaker teams get stronger. So, you had QPR last year. And basically, they were one of the weaker teams, ended up getting relegated. But however, they had players like Remy, international players. Obviously, they had Barton before he got suspended, and they just had they got Chris Samba, quality, experienced Premiership players. There are no easy games anymore because if that sort of team is getting relegated, that basically means that you have to literally fight for every single win. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a bit like basically being in Division 1 in Ultimate Team. There's no easy games out there. You've literally got to fight for everything, because basically there's no givens in this anymore. And I think that's what makes the Premier League so interesting because literally any game, anyone can get turned over. You get Man United losing and then you get Chelsea losing and maybe even in the same weekend. You just can't guarantee what's going to happen, and especially again with is he going to let one rip? Oh, let's see what we can do with him. Oh, that's a bad touch. But he's still got the ball. No, he's lost the ball now as well. So, you're going to get those, any team potentially losing, and I think that's what it is because literally you can't predict. It's not like, up in the Scottish League where, Celtic basically had won the league before it even started due to their lovely neighbours Rangers deciding to get themselves banned, and push down the leagues. And even when it was just the two of them, it was blatantly obvious that one of those two was going to win. So it just wasn't competitive. It wasn't fun to watch at all. And what's the happen? Nah, it's not happening with that long shot. So you know, at least this league is competitive. For me, I think you can have like at least four to five teams that you could say have a decent chance, of winning. And I just can't wait for it. I'm sure you can't. And it's been a long time. It's been a long summer. And for me, the actual transfer, like the actual, you know, the saga and the transfer gossip and all that kind of stuff has not been that exciting. I really have not been that impressed with like, who's moved here, who's moved there. There's been lots of talk and no real action. And I don't know if that's because everyone's waiting for being cautious, being sensible with the economic market and all that kind of stuff. Basically, like not to overinvest. Oh, you've seen a few turns now. Has he done me? No, he hasn't, not yet. So, everyone. All right, let's try and get Ronaldo involved now. Let's push down this wing. And so, yeah, everyone's probably just being that little bit more cautious than normal. Oh, I hate when that happens. When literally, you're trying to press for the ball and you end up getting it and you don't realize you got the ball and then you just give it away straight away. Should really be like adapting my play, being a little bit more creative to try and create that opening because right now it's not happening. And he is a pretty decent player, but I'm thinking this will probably be one or two goals maximum that will decide this. I can't see it happening much more. I can't see much more of a difference. And basically, I'm just pushing him wide, and he's bringing in the odd turn. Oh my God! How on earth has that crept in? That is just like the keeper's just palmed it. Well, he got hands to it. I really thought that wasn't going to go in. That was just such a weak effort. Oh well, I hate these late minute. Like if you saw like I played a wager, not a wager, a pink slips game the other day for Inform Pato, and basically it's the same kind of thing where I didn't play that bad, but didn't really create that much, and basically right at the death, my opponent scored, and that was it. I was done. I need to be like trying to create a little bit more, especially against this guy here. But he's got good possession, but oh well, we'll see what we can do. So we'll see. I wonder if there's going to be any shocks as well at the beginning of the season. Like I'm thinking, who do you fancy to get turned over that shouldn't do? That's the question. Are you thinking that who's your one of the top four? Which one of the top four are going to be getting beat on the opening day of the season, or is it going to pretty much be from an accumulator point of view? If you like to place your bets, are all the big guys going to come in and basically, are you going to be getting that accumulator? Because that's something I like to do at the beginning of the season and like during the season as it goes on, basically trying to predict the what teams will win, putting down like a few pounds or maybe pounds or so. Sometimes you'll go for the crazy one. Um, where basically you put down a pound, back like 12 teams or something, and if it comes in somehow, then you can like potentially win like I don't know £1,000, £2,000 based on that, or if you put on a bit more, then the prize can be bigger. But there's normally one team that lets you down, and normally it's not a team that you would expect as well. It's normally basically, someone like Man United or Chelsea drawing or dropping points when you wouldn't expect them to, when you'd expect them to turn over, and you've not even got great odds, but you've just put them on your accumulator just because that they were a banker, and you just needed another team just to boost up those odds a little bit. And I'm thinking, this is it, really not creating. This is going to be one of those close games where I'll probably end up losing. And, it's disappointing because I've been playing a lot better recently, but I just haven't really got any of my big players into the game, like Di Maria, Messi, and Ronaldo, just not really turning up. And it's probably due to the player. I think I'm playing this game quite late, and I find the later I play these games, the better opponent you come up against. So maybe I should have played it was one a bit earlier, and maybe it would have been more fortunate. But you know, we're probably going to go in and drop. So there's not much more of this game left. I might be able to force extra time, but in case I don't, oh, we've now got an overlap with some players. Come on, go through. Come on. Oh, so annoying. What can we do? Can we create something? No. Oh dear. Oh, I think that's it, surely. I've had my opportunities, and I think basically, yep, that's it, the final whistle. Well, we didn't win that game. He can't win them all. It was a close game. He got his goal. Fair play to him. The goal nation. Well, congratulations, son. You managed to win that game. And because there wasn't many chances, it's not such a long video. So let me know what you're looking forward to at the start of the season. Are you going to be placing any like crazy accumulators? Who do you think will get beat? And basically, do you think there'll be any surprises? And there's no rage once again. Never seemed to get any rage, but we'll get it one day. He was like, you know, gracious with his win. Maybe if I'd managed to turn that game around, maybe he wouldn't have been so gracious. So that's it, guys. As always, if you like this video, leave a like below, comment, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.